What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, you're watching TWA Motorsports, and today, like I said in the last video on this thing, got those new bed rails that I'd like to get put on today, and then there's another thing that I would like to get accomplished. But okay, in order to get the bed rails off, I think I'm gonna have to take the bed cover off, which I think I'm gonna leave off. I'm not a huge fan of it. However, my dad likes it. And you guys remember he has a green Stepside pickup. So we're gonna be taking that off. And I think, guys, it's screwed into the side of the bed. I think that's the only way to mount it. And so we're gonna have to grab what looks like a 1/2 inch. And I may get more than I bargained for here. I may have to put something under it because I have a feeling when I get it unbolted, it's just gonna fall off. And yeah, that's not gonna work. So once we get this out of place though, which I'm not gonna show you that process, then we can get these old caps off. We can start the process of cleaning whatever this person was trying to do to glue this thing back up. Once we get that done though, I'm hoping these will snap off. We'll get that clean, get the new ones on. That's step one, okay? The other thing is I took the SLE badge after the last video, I actually took that off. This one on this side, somebody had glued on and they'd use like super glue or something. And so I need to paint correct that area to make it look a lot nicer. So I think I may do that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that on camera or not. I may just use my little griots. I'd actually like to use maybe a 1 or a 2 inch wheel here on my griots polisher and knock that part out. And then last, of course, I'm gonna do that one on the other side as well. But last, I have a couple key fobs. The key fob for this thing, I only got one key, so I had GM cut me an extra key. And so I want to add a second key fob. I always like to have 2 keys, and I like to get my keys from GM because they either have GM or GMC or Chevrolet or whatever. So anyway, that is hopefully the goal for today, to get all those things accomplished. So let's get started by getting in that bed and getting a 1/2 inch driver, it looked like, get that bed cover off. I got the cover off, and I was wondering why when I was going down the road, this thing was like, it sounded like it was lifting. Well, that's because it only had one screw holding this side on, and there's self-tappers, unfortunately, that went into the bed. Man, I don't know. I'm not sure why some people do the things they do. Anyway, we're gonna take our, oh my gosh, these things are massive. Oh, I would have never done it like this. But, not mine. Well, it is now, but it wasn't. We gotta take those out because this ain't gonna come off with those in place. The next thing we need to do is back here in the back, in the corners, we need to take off these little clips here. Push-in pins. Thought maybe I could get underneath them with my removal tools, but once we get under them, we can just pry them out. Okay, this is what holds the back in place. So we got to do that on both sides. Now, we're just going to go down the rail. We're going to break them, unfortunately. But, oh my gosh. Never seen them hold on like that. Yeah, he did a number on, I say he, I'm assuming, he did a pretty good number on using some glue here. But, not as bad as I originally thought it would be. I'm gonna go get some pliers, pull this, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna pull these out that broke off and probably give this a once over with some cleaner. And then we gotta work on getting this glue and the 2-sided tape off. That could take us a little bit. I took the vacuum down, got all the big dust out. then kind of went over it with some like Windex actually, guys. And now we're attempting to get all the old glue off with the eraser wheel. Okay? Two-sided tape, glue, you name it. I'm trying to get it off here. We're gonna work our way down both sides. This side doesn't have as much glue, and the reason why is because it had 2 ginormous screws holding it on. So, you know, didn't have to use as much glue on this side. The other side, however, has 2-sided tape all the way down, all the way down. Probably, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 different types of glue and 2-sided tape here. Just did what they could. So once I do that, try to set this where it doesn't fall. We go down the side and clean it up with the 3M adhesive remover. It cleans up pretty good. All right, I could time lapse this, but I think I'll cut that section out. We will just do a little work off camera. Hopefully when we get to the point where I feel like we're kind of close to ready, we'll kick the camera back on and see how our new pieces fit. I now have got all the 2-sided tape off. I went over it with the eraser wheel, then the 3M adhesive remover, then I went over it with a clay bar. Now, just because I can't really get up in these areas when these pieces are on, I'm going to use my small griots polisher, a little 1-inch wheel, and we're going to hit these areas that kind of overhang, if that makes sense. And we're just going to paint correct that area. Look, it's not going to be perfect, but it'll help get some of the excess off, make it look a little nicer. Also taking some of the glue off that's really embedded. This thing comes in so handy for stuff like this, like small areas, you know, where, you know, I don't want to get like super aggressive. Just more of a cleanup. It already looks 1,000 times better. All right, I'm gonna run down this side, the other side, and then we're gonna grab some alcohol, I think, make sure it's good and clean before we place it, because this is held down with 2-sided tape on the outside. Now, I've heard of people, and it's a lot of work, but they actually mold this into the metal and make a flush cap, and boy, would that look nice on these trucks. But look, we're not doing that. And I've got the whole thing paint corrected at this point. So what we need to do is I'm taking a little alcohol and we're just gonna make sure that this area right here sticks really well, because this is where it mounts with the 2-sided tape on this outer ledge. So we're just gonna give it a good wipe down, let it dry up, and then we're gonna go grab our pieces and attempt to snap those on. Now, like I said, there is 2-sided tape on the inner, which if you buy the GM ones, which I think that's the only way to get them, it's the only, they come with the 2-sided tape. That's what I was gonna say. And so you don't, it's kind of dummy proof. These things ship in plastic, so just be careful cutting them open. I like to cut on the bottom side, that way if I go through, scratch something, it's not on the front. try to list these in the description down below. If you can find them on Amazon, you may be better off going to your local dealer, which is what I did. But I think you can get several GM parts off of Amazon because there's a lot of GM dealers that sell them. Now, one of the things you'll notice is a trick that my painter was telling me about when mounting these stuff. See how they put the tails? They cut the tails a little long and they wrap them around the outside. What that allows is for you to try to peel that off without having to get a little piece down here, if that makes sense. And so you can see, guys, it just snaps into place. The only thing we have is we have a piece of two-sided tape, one side and the other. I think it's good and dry now. Make sure here. Yep. So I think the best way to do it would be to start by snapping it in. Getting it lined up. Looks pretty good. And actually, I don't think I'm going to snap it in quite yet. Yeah. You got to make sure this outer lip goes over. Looks pretty good. Man, that looks so much better. I don't even have it on yet. See if we can make it happen. Pull this off, start to snap it into place. You don't want to break any of the snaps off. Kind of got to get aggressive with it, and then we got to go through and press our two-sided tape in. And then of course we have the piece that goes in the tailgate, and it covered all the imperfections. So I was worried about those screw holes. I mean, they were quite a ways up. I'm glad he at least did them a little higher. That looks really good. And look, the worst thing for these is the sun. These things sit outside, they warp. Man, that looks nice. I'm gonna clean up my little end piece here. And then we will get it installed. Last little piece of the puzzle. Oh, looks so much better. Now that we got those on, which we'll step back and take a look at. Look, I've got key fobs. And this is the one that came with the truck. I only got one key fob. You guys saw that I already got another key. But I'd like to have the red ones. You know, I feel like it's fitting. I have so many of these key fobs that it's like, how do I distinguish the difference? I try to put keychains on them and whatnot. Which, by the way, guys, I have keychains listed in the description down below my website. But look, I want to try to program these, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to close the door. I'm going to roll down the window, though, and we'll see if we can get them to program. I've had kind of mixed results with these. They're like 10 bucks on Amazon, and I'll list them in the description as well. You can get blue, red, white, and blue. You can get all different colors. But let's see if we can get it to work. So kind of how this works is we got the two key fobs. We're going to program them back to back, but we hold down the unlock button. Okay, and then we cycle the key twice without starting. And now we can release the unlock button. The locks will cycle, and we're going to hold these down. The lock and the unlock on the key fob. And it should cycle the locks, and sometimes it takes a while. Okay, there's one. I don't know if you guys are hearing the lock cycle, but let's do the second one. And then technically, if you wanted the third one, which is the original one programmed, you would hold it down as well. You can program as many as you want while it's in this sequence. Okay, there's that one. And I'm gonna go ahead, just program the third one, keep it in place. And so we'll have 3. Okay, that's it. Now we turn the key to the run position. It's gonna honk, the locks are gonna cycle. And now we should have all 3 of these working. So let's give it a shot. Okay, lock, unlock, panic. That's one of them. The other one, lock, unlock, panic. And then the original one, lock, unlock, panic. Perfect. Not too hard, actually. You do have to have the door closed though, so if you try that with the door open, it's not gonna work. Let's take a look at these bed caps. They look so much nicer. Fit nice, no waves in them. Look like brand new plastics. Of course they are brand new plastics. Now I need to vacuum out the bed, I guess, or at least sweep it out. It's kind of gross. Kind of how it works when you have a cover on, but the cover is not going back on. Like I said, guys, I think my dad wants it, and so he's gonna attempt to put it on his green truck. But we did get a few things accomplished today. We got, obviously, the new bed caps on. We got new key fobs, which is exciting. I did go ahead, I didn't show you on camera, but I took off the SLE badge and I hit that with the paint correcting when I did this. This truck cleans up very, very well. So I'm pretty excited about that. The paint is in incredible shape. It's just such a good looking truck. But yeah, got a few things accomplished. These, the little key fobs kind of been laying around here in the shop for a while. Like I said, I bought those for that. I actually think I bought those for the red Stepside I had last. It was a red truck, whatever I bought them for. And either they wouldn't program or something was up. And so I ended up putting them in a drawer over there, and I thought, you know what? Red truck needs a red key fob. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the content on the new to the shop Stepside. Are we gonna keep it? I know we've done a couple videos on it, but like I said, I'm just trying to fix the little things that were broken on it when I bought it. So make it look a little more presentable. Whether we keep it or not, it's still up in the air, guys. You know, with anything, it could shift out just as easy as it came in. But if you are enjoying these videos, please, like always, smash that thumbs up button. Like I said, I will list everything I use in the description down below. Of course, guys, if you are not subscribed, get on there, hit that subscribe button. Like always, ring the bell notification. That will notify you every single time we drop a video on this or anything else. Stay tuned to see what we work on next.